The various civilizations which developed within ancient Egypt were some of the most technologically advanced and beautiful of their time, giving birth to some of the greatest cities the world has ever seen. Many of these sites can still be visited today, a favorite pastime for travelers wishing to gaze upon the remains of a storied past. Most of Egypt's cities were built on the banks of the River Nile, a major source of water and vegetation for those communities. They were also separated into upper and lower regions based on their location relative to the Nile. Beyond location, Egyptian cities differed in their purposes. While some were politically focused, others had a more religious function, which led to differences in the types of buildings they constructed and diplomats housed there. We're going to talk about 10 of the greatest of these ancient Egyptian cities and explain why they are so important. Number 1. Thebes. Thebes is one of the most well-known ancient Egyptian cities, as it was once a place of religious, cultural, and political significance. Known as the second capital of Egypt during the New Kingdom, 1570 to 1069 before Christ, it was called the city of Ammon, another creator god. Greek poet Homer once even referred to Thebes as the city with 1,000 gates because of how many buildings it contained. Located on the east bank of the Nile in what is now Luxor, ancient Thebes and the New Kingdom were known for the establishment of pharaohs, including Ramesses II and King Tut. The city contained beautiful temples called the Abu Simbel temples, which were built by Ramesses II and were dedicated to Amun, Ra-Horakhti, and Ptah, god of the sun, god of the air, and god of creation respectively. These temples, now in ruins, can still be seen today. In addition to the temples, the Valley of the Kings is also located in Thebes. The Valley of the Kings is the region of rock-cut tombs that contain the bodies of pharaohs and rulers such as Ramesses II, Hatshepsut, and King Tut. Because this region contains so many extraordinary archaeological findings, it was declared a World Heritage Site in 1979 by UNESCO in an effort to preserve it. Number 2. Amarna. Amarna isn't as popular as the other ancient Egyptian cities, but it was declared a capital between 1353 and 1336 before Christ by Pharaoh Akhenaten. Though it was not a capital very long, it was home to one of the greatest religious struggles in ancient Egyptian history. Akhenaten, who ruled for only 20 years, fought to push the belief of monotheism on the people of Amarna, a belief they rejected fervently. This belief was reversed with the rule of his son, Tutankhamun, who supported polytheism. While Akhenaten was the ruler of Amarna, he built many parts of the city to honor and worship Aten, a god of the sun. Historians believe this was likely also an attempt to make Aten the official Egyptian god and to turn Egyptians away from polytheism. Though the city was soon abandoned, the site still has some existing tombs carved with inscriptions worshipping Aten. Number 3. Nubt, Kam Ombo. Nubt, now known as Kam Ombo, was an ancient Egyptian city known for its agriculture. It was also a trade city, which combined with its agriculture made it essential. In Nut, the people mostly worshipped the god Sobek, who was known as the crocodile god. The term Nut can be translated as City of Gold, as ancient Nut was known for its large gold deposits throughout the region. Nowadays, the city is known for its Temple of Kam Ombo, which was built sometime between 180 and 47 before Christ. Nevertheless, the temple has been significantly damaged due to the Nile and natural disasters like earthquakes. There is also a crocodile museum that opened in 2012 dedicated to the many mummified crocodiles found within the city. Number 4. Abydos. Abydos is one of the oldest ancient Egyptian cities, stemming back all the way to the First Dynasty. It was known as an extremely holy place, as it was believed Osiris, the god of fertility, the dead, resurrection, the afterlife, agriculture, life, and vegetation, was buried there. He is known as one of the most essential gods in Egyptian culture, marking this city as an essential landmark for those looking to worship him. Several temples were built throughout Abydos in honor of Osiris, with some of these temples remains still existing in the city. Many of the ancient kings, queens, and pharaohs of the region were buried in and around Abydos due to its holiness. The Temple of Seti, one is the most famous landmark in modern-day Abydos, as it is still standing and in generally good condition compared to other ancient buildings throughout Egypt, especially considering its age. Number 5. Hermopolis. Hermopolis, also called Khumunu, was once one of the wealthiest cities in ancient Egypt. Located on the border between Upper and Lower Egypt, it was often seen as one of the largest religious centers connecting the two halves. Its history goes back to the Old Kingdom, but it existed for many years until it was abandoned in 642 AD after the Islamic conquest. In Hermopolis, Thoth was the primary deity worshipped by ancient Egyptians. Thoth was known as the god of healing, magic, and wisdom, and there were many priests and priestesses in the city that worshipped him. It was also believed that the first sunrise occurred in Hermopolis, making it the sun's birthing place.